Hey, how's it going? My name is Nick. This is You Don't Scare Me. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the videos contained within these unsolved Reddit mysteries are freaking everyone out. Here's why. I've already seen the first one, so it'll be a quick start to the video. But if you'd do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to debunk some ghost videos.
In February 2022, an Arizona family got the shock of their lives when reviewing footage from their motion-activated security camera. An anonymous Reddit user took to the popular subreddit r/ghosts to share an eerie snapshot provided by his mother-in-law.
Alright, so now you've seen it. Also, welcome back DMU. Though for how long I can't say. So the picture that we're looking at right here, let's see if I'll put it here. The picture that we're looking at is, it's a picture of a person in their backyard. The story goes that the mother had died. I mean, he's going to tell you all that in a second, but what I can tell you for absolute certainty is that the house is occupied by the grandmother or grandfather. Their bodies might seem to look the same. You can see here that there's a small dog by the back door, and based on what's in his hand, it looks like he's got one of those retractable dog leads. So what we're looking at right here is not a photo of a ghost, but in fact just a photo of another family member or the grandmother before she died, or whatever, of somebody who's walking a dog in their backyard. The story might have been applied to the picture after just being found somewhere on the internet. We have nothing to go off of to prove that these two people in this picture is actually linked to the family. Back in July, when I was first looking, like July of last year, of 2024, when I first started uploading to this channel, we took a look at the time code in the top right corner of the image and found that it had CMYK colors in the pixelation around the numbers, meaning that it was thrown into Photoshop. Now, the person who originally uploaded it was not anonymous, as Slapped Ham is saying, so it's been reposted again by somebody else, but the original photo that was uploaded to Reddit, people in the comment section were discussing the fact that there was CMYK pixelation and stuff like that in the top right corner, and then he took the post down, made a new account, and then uploaded the photo again, having applied a grayscale over the whole thing. Normally, you'd still be able to see that because artificial grayscale is completely different from authentic grayscale, but whatever he did, it disappeared. And I still have the photo somewhere on my hard drive. I can't find it, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. The time code was added in post after the photo was taken, and the time code was placed there intentionally to corroborate the time of death of the individual claimed to be in the photograph. This one has been 100% debunked, and not just by me, but by people in the comment section below who literally tore this thing to pieces.
Well, everything matched so closely, the family immediately felt convinced it was Nancy's spirit checking in on them. As the image circulated online, paranormal enthusiasts jumped at the possibility that this could indeed be genuine ghost evidence. The uncanny clarity of the figure left many amazed. It's rare for alleged spirits to appear so distinctly.
Yeah. And the reason is, the person in the photograph is still alive at the time that the photo was taken. It might actually be Nancy. However, she's alive in this photograph, and the time code was placed there to make you think that this empty property had the spirit of the grandmother. I think it's tasteless if the story behind the photograph is partially true, with Nancy having passed and all that. Make your own assumptions or make your own decisions on how you feel about the photo, but in my opinion, it's tactless.
The case drew the attention of investigative website Metabunk. After extensive analysis, even seasoned debunkers were stumped.
That is categorically false. Now I remember, it was Metabunk was the website, was the forum that I found the original mass debunking activity on this photo. The forum is gone. Not the forum itself. Metabunk is still there, but the friggin' forum, I have no proof. I have no proof that this was debunked. The friggin' thread that had this photo on it is gone. I saw it a year ago, but the fucking thread's gone. So now I cannot prove to you that they debunked it. Do you know how annoying that is? They have posts here from as early as 2011. This forum has been running, and those have not been removed. But the one that I need is gone. It was meta debunked. It was a meta debunk forum post that spoke about it. They were the ones that found the CMYK. It wasn't Reddit. I was wrong about that. I was misremembering. And I have the files on my computer. They're somewhere, but god damn, if I had to go through... Okay, I'll do it. Let's see. See? Look at this pixel right here. It's not gray, it's blue. And this pixel is purple. And this is Nancy, and this is the family photo, whatever that they posted of her. Okay? It's debunked.
With no signs of tampering or photo editing detected, the investigation concluded without a definitive answer. Who or what visited that Arizona backyard remains unresolved.
He's a liar.
In November 2014, Reddit user Comoletti posted to RWTF after discovering something deeply unsettling: a large wooden coffin mysteriously placed in his suburban driveway.
Dick, free coffin.
Naturally alarmed, Comoletti shared a photo drawing thousands of curious Redditors eager to solve the bizarre mystery unfolding live online. Initially hesitant to approach, OP eventually followed community advice, unscrewing the coffin lid to reveal something even stranger inside: a solitary old-fashioned key and a cryptic note bearing coordinates pointing directly to a German World War II cemetery in Luxembourg.
Bro, and it's empty. That's a coffee table. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know, freaking sick-ass Halloween prop. Bro, you got a free do you know how much coffins cost? Free coffin, man. Free coffin. And a free cool old key? Shit, dude.
This unexpected twist transformed the situation from an eerie prank into an international puzzle, leaving the community wondering who could have orchestrated such a complex scenario and why.
How is this complex? You just go to an antique shop, buy a little old key, go to like some Halloween decoration place, buy a coffin, or I don't know, so you might get a coffin from somewhere, right? You just put a key and a little scrap of paper right in the bottom of it's. So non-complex. I mean, it's, you Google any cemetery, pull the Latin longitude, and then write it down on a piece of paper, throw it in a coffin. Like, it's like this guy probably did it himself. Where he got the coffin, no idea, but sick.
Quickly mobilizing Reddit's global audience tried to decode the puzzle. Remarkably, a German Redditor volunteered to physically investigate the coordinates, visiting the Luxembourg gravesite just days later. Unfortunately, their on-site search found nothing but ordinary gravestones, no hidden compartments, no matching locks for the mysterious key, and no further clues to unravel.
Yeah, no shit, because it's just a rando key. Those locks are a dime a dozen. Plus, don't you think that whatever the key was supposed to be for would be like buried underground or something like that? Like,
Even more puzzling was the choice of location. Why a cemetery in Luxembourg? Was
why not?
there significance to the World War II connection, or was it randomly chosen to mislead investigators?
Or it was just randomly chosen. Latitude and longitude might be a relatively precise thing, but it's not going to get you to a specific grave. Like, is there anything else to go off of? Did somebody come by a few weeks later and drop off more interesting information? I hope the coffin was actually placed there without his permission. Free coffin. Just like think about that for a moment. It's a free coffin. You know, hold on to it until you die or something. I would store garden tools in it, like rakes and hoes and like shears and shit. Chain, like those pole chains. Like, it's long. You know what I mean? You could fit shovels and stuff in shovels.
Speculation exploded. Was this a macabre prank, a viral marketing stunt, or perhaps an elaborate alternate reality game gone cold? The lack of follow-up or product tie-ins seemed to disprove marketing theories. Some suspected it was a prank from a friend with a twisted sense of humor. But the international...
Yeah, that type of coffin, that's not a casket, by the way. That's a coffin. There's a difference. I'm looking at ads right now for that type of coffin. They're like $1,000, but you can get some for as little as $300, but that's Facebook Marketplace.
Component added confusion, as did the difficulty of secretly placing a large coffin unnoticed. Skeptics questioned whether the original poster himself staged the scenario for attention, though the involvement of an independent volunteer checking the European cemetery gave credibility to the story.
No, that was just because they decided that they wanted to investigate on their own time. That's a separate use. What the fuck, dude? That was just a curious Redditor. That's not his accomplice.
Nearly 10 years later, this eerie event remains unsolved. Reddit never got closure, no prankster came forward, no ARG was claimed, and authorities were never involved.
For a free coffin? Shit, no wonder. I gotta go pick up my wife. I'll be back.
OP himself never provided a follow-up explanation, leaving the coffin, the key, and the cemetery coordinates lingering as an unresolved puzzle. The strange and inexplicable nature of the event has cemented it as one of Reddit's creepiest and most enduring mysteries, a haunting reminder of how easily the ordinary can become extraordinary when touched by the unknown. In 2015, random internet users received an unnerving email with a chilling message. "You have been selected. Where have you gone? We are watching." This cryptic invitation sparked what's now known as the 432 mystery, an elaborate puzzle that lured players from forums like Reddit and 4chan into the murky depths of the dark web. Initially, puzzle enthusiasts eagerly dove into the enigmatic challenge, forming online communities like Reddit's now defunct R432 mystery. Together, they tackled complex ciphers, coded images, and strange references, all curated by an unknown, anonymous mastermind. But soon, the intellectual excitement turned into sheer paranoia. In a disturbing twist, participants' personal details began surfacing within the puzzle itself, usernames, chat handles, and even real-life photos. The players realized the puppet master had been monitoring their chats and forums all along, turning an innocent puzzle into an invasive threat. Speculation surged. Was this an elaborate recruitment tactic echoing the legendary Cicada 3301, a malicious hacker prank? Or perhaps something far darker, a psychological experiment by a secretive organization? Even the puzzle's name, 432, ignited wild theories. Some players speculated it referenced the mystical 432 Hz frequency, while others pointed to 432 Hunab Ku.
Yeah, I've done some research. It sounds like it's a whole bunch of bullshit. Might as well be 432, the area code. Which area code is that? Texas.
Linking the puzzle to an ancient Mayan deity and hinting at occult intentions. Then, abruptly, by late 2016, the mysterious updates stopped. The subreddit was shuttered and the puzzle went quiet, leaving hundreds of dedicated players stranded without answers.
A puzzle can be made intentionally to be unsolvable. There won't always be a solution to the puzzles that people make. Some people make puzzles that are like red herring puzzles, where you think you found the solution, but it really wasn't. There are other puzzles that literally have no solution. In my opinion, based on what I've come to understand about this 432 bullshit, I think that this was a puzzle with no actual solution, intentionally. And I think the person who made the puzzle just got bored.
Efforts involving advanced code-breaking software, audio analyses, and meticulous community collaboration couldn't uncover the puzzle's true purpose or the identity of its creator. Today, the 432 mystery endures as a chilling chapter in internet folklore, often compared to infamous online riddles like Cicada 3301. It stands as a stark warning, highlighting how quickly innocent curiosity can spiral into paranoia, and how easily we can become pawns in a hidden observer's game.
Now I think he's massively overthinking it. You know, somebody always says, oh, you say the word puzzle, everybody starts thinking that they're a genius and they start overthinking everything. But the answer is usually as simple as, it ain't got no gas in it.
In an eerie online mystery straight out of a spy thriller, Reddit user throwaway YTF Willa shared a baffling discovery back in 2015 to 2016 that quickly became an internet head-scratcher. After moving to a seemingly peaceful semi-urban farm property, they encountered something utterly inexplicable beneath their very feet. Using a standard Wi-Fi analyzer app on their Android phone, they detected a bizarre cluster of about 25 to 30 identical Wi-Fi networks, weak but perfectly equal in strength, that mysteriously radiated directly upward from beneath a seemingly ordinary concrete slab on the property.
You cannot detect the direction of Wi-Fi signals. You can just detect when they get stronger, proximity, not what direction they're. It's like an orb. Underground cables, residual energy from the buried phone lines. You know, you have internet. The internet had to get to you. The systems that are in place to connect the internet to your house also have access points. They may not be broadcasting properly, but when a technician comes to work on the lines, they connect sometimes wirelessly to access points to read meters and such. Traffic lights have a Wi-Fi signature. You know what I mean? This is nothing. It's just a curiosity so far.
This concrete slab meant to cover just dirt or gravel suddenly became the focal point of a creepy technological mystery.
Why would a concrete slab be in place to cover gravel or dirt? I mean, it's going to be a patio, or it's going to be a septic tank.
The OP meticulously mapped out the Wi-Fi signal's strength, confirming beyond doubt that the routers or wireless transmitters responsible for these signals must have been hidden directly underneath the slab. Even stranger, no wires or external power sources were visible, prompting a pressing question. Who set up these hidden devices and why? Intrigued yet understandably unnerved, the OP performed multiple amateur investigations to try and unravel the mystery.
Honestly, so far this story is seeming to be as AI generated as is stock photography.
Drilling small exploratory holes in the slab and pouring water into them suggested a cavity beneath, perhaps hiding tech or equipment. They even employed thermal imaging, hoping to detect heat signatures from running electronics below.
Concrete has a thermal conductivity that ranges from 0.8 to 2.5 watts per meter Kelvin. It's not like thermally, it's not a thermal barrier, but it cools off really quickly. So heat signatures, like you wouldn't be able to get a positive heat signature on concrete unless there was a considerable amount of heat. And with signals seemingly that low, it's unlikely that whatever is generating those signals would be producing enough heat to be seen through concrete. I've been looking at this for a few hours, and I wrote a script. I'm gonna read it. It's gonna summarize everything and then my opinions, okay? So let's quickly recap the key points because they're crucial. So what we're talking about is roughly 25 to 30 low-strength Wi-Fi networks. Crucially, they all had the exact same signal strength, peaking at the same spot on this concrete pad. As our viewer moved away in any direction, the signal strength uniformly decreased. This rules out typical neighborhood Wi-Fi. Adding to the mystery, the SSIDs of these networks apparently change every 5 minutes or so. They blanket the entire 2.4 GHz spectrum, and their signal strength fluctuates in perfect sync with each other and even with the property's own Wi-Fi network. Finally, a thermal camera showed a significantly hotter spot on the pad at the signal's peak, and they had drilled a hole in that location and they poured water into it. So, my ideas that I've written down: sophisticated underground communication system. It's a strong contender. A buried system could be emanating these signals, perhaps for specialized communications. The coordinated behavior and the localized source strongly suggest a controlled setup. The heat and drainage point could indicate a presence of equipment and potential access point. Second option: testing or experimental equipment. It's possible that this was a site for testing advanced wireless technologies. The changing SSDs and full spectrum coverage would align with experimental protocols. Or something that I just thought of could be a seismic, like, measuring system, and you poured water into it. Less likely, unintentional leakage. While this is less probable given the coordinated nature, perhaps some of the unusual underground industrial or communication equipment is leaking radio frequencies in a very peculiar way. It could be that this concrete slab is put on top of an underground tunnel boring system or something. They might be building a subway, right? They didn't say that they were like in the forest somewhere. They didn't specify that they weren't surrounded by other people with Wi-Fi signatures. It might just be a junction box for all the access points. I don't know. The second most least plausible answer is deliberate signal jamming. Someone might be intentionally generating these signals for an unknown reason to disrupt or mask other activity. The underground location adds that possibility. And the least likely explanation is natural phenomenon, like electromagnetic phenomena. Like, they don't mimic structured Wi-Fi networks. So the most striking aspect of the synchronized signal behavior: the constant SSID changes in the full spectrum coverage and the physical anomalies, the heat and the drainage, These point towards deliberate engineered sources rather than random interference or typical neighborhood networks. The mirroring of the property's own Wi-Fi signature is another significant clue that suggests some form of interaction or control. However, ultimately, without more information or a physical investigation, it's impossible to say definitively what is happening underneath the concrete pad. They have the right to be curious. It is a very unusual situation. Unfortunately, there's no additional updates about this. It just is kind of this. This was posted 9 years ago. It's just there's no additional information. It's disappointing because it piqued my curiosity. In addition to that, there's only like 25 comments. This is going to be a mystery. It's going to bother me. One of these always pique my interest, but this is the video where I debunk nothing except for the very first thing. Let's see what's next.
On April 1st, 2015, Reddit unleashed one of the internet's most memorable social experiments, the button. What began as an April Fool's prank quickly turned into a worldwide phenomenon, captivating over 1 million users for exactly 2 months and 5 days. The premise was simple, yet strangely compelling. A single button appeared at the top of a news subreddit, the button, alongside a 60-second countdown timer. When any user pressed the button, the timer reset back to 60 seconds. But there was a catch. Each Reddit account could only press once, ever, and only if their account existed before the game began. Adding intrigue, Reddit assigned coloured flares to users based on the seconds remaining when they pressed. Purple, pressed when less than 10 seconds remained. Rare and revered. Blue, green, yellow, orange. And red, representing progressively earlier clicks. Grey, users who never pressed at all. Almost overnight, these flares evolved into a humorous yet intense social hierarchy. Users formed playful alliances, cults, and tribes based on their button-clicking timing. Purples were treated as elite figures, while greys were either wise abstainers or stubborn outsiders, depending on your point of view. This playful experiment swiftly became a lively and intricate community. Participants developed complex backstories, legends, and roles, with groups like the Knights of the Button dramatically waiting until the last possible second to press, heroically keeping the timer alive.
I was a non-presser. This was like 10 years ago. 11 years ago? 10 years ago? Shit. It was a long fucking time ago. I never pressed the button. Good times.
Memes flourished, strategy guides emerged, and tracking bots were created to monitor button pressing in real time. But why did millions engage with something so objectively trivial?
Because it was fun. Nothing's fun anymore.
Motivations varied widely. Some genuinely wondered if hidden significance awaited those who pressed or didn't. Many thrived on competition, desperately chasing the elusive purple flare. Others simply enjoyed the rich creativity, humor, and memes. Still, some viewed it as a deeper commentary on human nature, patience, temptation, and collective impulse control. Inevitably, the experiment had to end. As more users pressed and fewer button saviors remained, the game's momentum dwindled. Finally, on June 5th, 2015, after 2 months and 5 days of sustained drama, the timer quietly reached 0. Reddit simply announced, "The experiment is over." There was no grand revelation or secret prize, just the end of a remarkable communal experience. Today, the button remains legendary as a compelling example of internet culture. It demonstrated how easily a random, arbitrary rule can give rise to complex social dynamics, tribal identities, and collective behavior.
I think you're overthinking it, man. It was just a fun little thing that happened. There was no purpose, no meaning. And that's why it was so great. Because it didn't matter. It's because you could do something and there was no impact. It's very rare that we get to experience something so wholly without detracting something else. You know what I mean? Everything has consequence now. Everything has always had consequence, but that didn't. Not even a little. It was simple. It was enjoyable. It was so brief, and yet the only significance it had was the significance that we gave it.
It also showed the inevitable cycle of internet interest, wild enthusiasm followed by eventual burnout. Ultimately, the legacy of The Button lies in its revealing snapshot of humanity, our curiosity, competition, cooperation, and the endless allure of simply clicking a mysterious button.
No, it was the allure of camaraderie. It's the allure of being part of something that, while inevitably innocuous, it's about coming together. It's about dropping coins in a rat imprint in Chicago in the concrete. It's about putting flowers out for a raccoon that was hit by a car. It's about putting cherry tomatoes on a bridge in Ireland. It's about human connection and a consequenceless human connection.
On a chilly October night in 2006, Reddit user Sturix and his 4 friends decided to visit White's Bridge in Ionia County, Michigan, a covered wooden bridge steeped in local ghost lore. According to legend, the bridge is haunted by the spirit of a farmer's wife who met a tragic end after being caught in an affair. Seeking a thrill, the friends parked their car on the bridge, turned off the engine, and even lit a nearby scarecrow on fire, testing out a popular ritual. Supposedly, the ghost would push their vehicle forward. What began as playful mischief quickly escalated into a scene straight from a horror movie.
I hear stories about a hill in Ontario that if you park your car on it or put your car in neutral, it rolls up the hill instead of down. There's another thing, I think it's Port Colborne in Ontario. There's a street that I drove down when I was delivering shit on a truck. When I was a truck driver. This building was like huge. And then as you drove down the road, it gets smaller and smaller until it's just off in the distance. I really want to know why the fuck that happens. I don't know if anybody else knows about this, but it's weird. Port Colborne, I think that's where it is. It's like just a square building at the end of a street. Let me know down below if you know what I'm talking about.
As they sat in tense silence, a car door abruptly opened, and to their shock, a woman silently climbed into the back seat with them. She was pale, roughly in her late 20s or early 30s, with long black hair, wearing a plaid shirt and jeans, eerily matching the outfit of the scarecrow they'd set ablaze just moments earlier.
You mean like a Canadian? It's just flannel, jeans. You're talking about like the most nondescript, like southern, northern, eastern, western. Everybody in North America dresses like that. Shit.
The woman calmly explained that her boyfriend's car had broken down nearby, and that she'd interpreted the burning scarecrow as a signal for help. Confused and increasingly unnerved, the friends noticed the woman's odd demeanour. Feeling unsafe, partly due to one friend's awkward attempt to flirt, the driver firmly asked her to leave. Reluctantly, she stepped out and vanished into the darkness. But the mystery deepened. Immediately after she exited, the group drove forward to follow her supposed path. Yet there was no sign of her or any broken down vehicle. The path she indicated was actually a private road marked clearly with no trespassing signs.
That doesn't mean jack shit.
It was as though she had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only questions. Who was she? How did she approach unseen? And why was she wearing the exact same clothes as the scarecrow?
You're in farm country, man.
Years later, Sturrock's recounted this unforgettable night on Reddit's Let's Not Meet subreddit, including photographs of the bridge and the mysterious scarecrow. Intrigued Redditors dissected the event. Some theorized the woman was genuinely in distress, while others suggested a mentally unstable wanderer was attracted by the fire. However, many leaned toward the paranormal explanation, connecting her sudden disappearance and her strange similarity to the scarecrow as evidence of a supernatural encounter. Adding further intrigue, one of the friends involved, Mike, later joined the Reddit discussion, corroborating Sturrock's chilling story and reinforcing its authenticity.
This is, at the end of the day, these are all just anecdotal. There's no proof of any paranormal thing happening in any of these stories. And I started this video thinking that there was going to be ghost pictures or something because of the first one, but everything else after that has been like a text-based anecdotal. It's kind of a waste of a video in my opinion, but I still have to upload it because it took me 8 hours to record this.
The group's shared confusion and fear were palpable, and their lack of a logical explanation only amplified the mystery. Tragically, White's Bridge burned down due to vandalism in 2013, ending a historic landmark's legacy, yet heightening its ghostly reputation.
Bummer.
This bizarre encounter from 2006 remains unexplained, straddling the line between a terrifying real-life encounter and compelling ghost lore.
2006? And then the Reddit post was like 8 years ago? This was like 20 years ago. You remember what happened 20 years ago? I mean, 8 years, 12 years ago? I don't even fucking remember what I had for breakfast.
Ultimately, whether the woman on White's Bridge was paranormal or simply a peculiar stranger lost to the night remains an unsettling mystery firmly etched in local legend and in the memories of 5 friends who hope to never encounter her again.
Well, there it is. 114. I know that there's not very much. I know this video wasn't anything normal. I normally wouldn't do a video like this, but once I start, like, I had a time sink. I sunk enough time into it that it's like, well, now I have to finish it. I mean, look at me now. You know, how energetic I was at the beginning and how not energetic I am now. It took me a working day to film this. That's not normal either. Let me know anything. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tomorrow, I'm going to specifically find videos of ghosts. None of these can be debunked except for the first one, and then I guess there was nothing really to debunk in the button. See you tomorrow, or see you on Wednesday. Love you. Goodbye.